My Dead Friend Zoe is not the kind of complex indie or Oscar drama we get nowadays, but is instead just a grounded personal human story, which is, in my long-standing opinion, the most underserviced genre in theaters right now. And that's because this genre used to thrive on DVD, but now this kind of mid-budget drama rarely gets made because it has to be a gangbuster at the box office for studios to consider it worthwhile. But not only is this movie worthwhile, it's pretty darn special. It's the story of an army vet played by Sonequa Martin Green who is mourning the loss of her friend Zoe, who served with her in Afghanistan. It's a story about being isolated in one's grief, but not alone in that grief. As Sonequa Martin Green's character, named Merritt, finds connection from characters like Morgan Freeman, who leads a group therapy meeting for veterans, her grandfather Ed Harris, who was also an army vet, and a brief aside, Ed Harris is one of those actors who, if he's in a movie, it is baseline going to be very good. That has been my experience with 100% of Ed Harris films I've seen. Not only is he good in every movie, but it's as if he only signs on to movies that already have quite a lot going for them. And then finally, not featured on this poster, you have Utkarsh Ambudkar, who I first saw in the movie Brittany Runs a Marathon, and consistently gets cast in these roles where he's like the really charming, accessible, completely unproblematic boyfriend energy character, and he's great in those roles, but he's also so funny and charming that I am dying for casting directors to start putting him in more roles, preferably in more lead roles, because he just brightens up every scene he's in. But the heart of this movie for me really is Natalie Morales' performance. I think the first time I saw Natalie Morales was in the Jennifer Lawrence comedy No Hard Feelings, which I love. It's one of my favorite comedies of recent years. She brings this very relatable, wry, and percolating magnetism that feels very emblematic of the millennial persona. Someone who, the moment they're on screen, you're like, oh, I get this character's vibe. Right now is a really fortuitous time for a story about veterans affairs and PTSD, reminding us of the support systems they need at a time when those support systems are being intentionally underfunded and dismantled. Go watch My Dead Friend Zoe in theaters and remind yourself that the stories of real people are also larger than life.